All right, welcome to Q&Andy, the show. One of the shows where I don't know anything. Go ahead, producer Mike. What do we got?
First off, as a reminder, if you want to be featured on the show, send your questions to askandy@surfpodcast.com or hit us up on the DMs on social or comment here, or please just submit a video question if you might want to see yourself. We'd love to see our fans.
I do like the video questions.
Yeah, it's like better than me reading it and stumbling through.
Well, yeah. Also, water's wet. All right, go ahead.
So these are about travel and logistics. We're in the middle of Madrid right now, so we figured we'd throw in some travel and logistics. First up, Mark wrote in and asked, since tennis is a global sport without teams, how do players manage travel? Do they fly commercial, charter jets, or private planes? And does someone on their team handle all of those logistics?
Yes. Most of the time they have someone who is handling those logistics. We have to remember that 95% of the tour is never in charter jet territory, unless you're hitching a ride with someone or you're combining forces at the end of an event. I would venture to say, like, pretty much no one on tour would ever charter overseas, right? Like, I'm sure there are 2 or 3 in history that have, but listen, if you get LA to Melbourne, that laydown situation, you ain't getting away from it. It's fantastic. It is great. Like, you would actually choose that over, probably just for your body's sake, than chartering something that would make it. But yeah, I mean, you're doing a lot of points. You're doing a lot of logistical challenges. You're booking flights way in advance. Listen, some people, I'm sure Fonseca has someone who's taking care of that for him. Someone who's 250 in the world, does not have that support system and does not have, by and large, the team that's going to map everything out. Like, I know my first call after a bad result was to Karen Piner, who saved my life for, when I was a kid, and would make those things and be like, we need to come home, and she would get on, and, if you become good enough and spoiled enough, that shit is just kind of taken care of. But this is not a everybody chartering situation at all. It is much grittier than that for most people on the tennis tour.
Lyndon had a question. How do players travel with their rackets and gear? Carry-on, checked, delivery service, strung, unstrung?
Yeah, strung doesn't do anything because when you go in altitude, it loosens the strings, right? So you're up 50,000 feet in the air for 14 hours. You get there, your racket is going to be many pounds looser than it is. So it doesn't matter. If you need to land, let's say you're landing in Australia and you want to get in like a lazy hit that afternoon, you're not that worried about the tension on your rackets because you're not high performing, but maybe you would string some 3 or 4 pounds tighter before you fly. So I just went to Brazil recently to play, and I didn't want to have to land and then string rackets, and it's one less step. So I strung them way tighter here so that you land and it's a guess as to, if it's going to work, but generally that's what you do. I think we always used to take our bags on flights. Sometimes now they have that little thing out front where if it doesn't fit in it, at that point, you take 2 sticks out just to make sure you always have 2 or 3 rackets. You put them in a backpack and you carry it on. But we used to be able to carry on the big bags all the time. I think international flights is probably a little bit easier. But it's an imperfect science.
So then that question we were wondering, that's going to the tournament. And the serve team was wondering, well, say you're lucky enough to win, how do you travel home with the trophy? And then one of the crack team members at Served found this video that we wanted to watch first. It looks like this is how you did it.
This is not how I did it. This is an Amex commercial from a million years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, man.
I think the joke was that would be wildly inconsistent. Sorry about the half goatee, guys.
I was about to say, what is up with the facial hair there?
Just setting early aughts trends for a second. Oh, gosh.
At first, I thought it was a joke that you were trying to be like, incognito in the airport. But then I realized it was real.
Yeah. So what's absolutely accurate about this commercial that we just watched, which basically, if you're listening and not watching on YouTube, there was a commercial where I was traveling with big trophies and it was inconvenient. They were falling, you couldn't fit, they were on my lap, et cetera, et cetera. You never traveled with a trophy.
Yeah.
It just got sent.
It just gets sent for you. The tournament takes care of it.
It's just sent. There's no, listen, you're going for 2 months on the road. There is not a lot of room in your suitcase for a big metal thing. Now, what you will do is you'll leave some stuff or give it away. Like if you're going from Wimbledon to, you're done at Wimbledon, you no longer need grass court shoes for a year. They're going to have a different style the next year. You're not going to need all whites to play in your next tournament. You would just leave a lot of that stuff or give it to, locker room. If you'd still probably have stuff with tags on it also.
Yeah.
So there's times where you would leave a bunch of your stuff. You'd come back a little bit lighter, but no, there was no concern, not even for a second on like, I need this trophy with me every step of the way home. You kind of just trust fell that it would make its way to you at some point.
Yeah, you just brought up the clothing situation. Stefan had asked, who decides which clothes are worn? Is it only the equipment supplier or does the athlete also have say?
Depends. It depends. They normally give you versions. Now, for me and Reebok, I had my own line. Lacoste, I was, one of the first. So they would put me in things and it was never a surprise when stuff arrived. Now, if you're a touring pro with Adidas, they basically have a line. If you're 70 in the world or you're an upcoming prospect, you probably don't get a lot of say in what that line looks like. But they normally give you like a louder version, right? And they'll kind of know the players that want to do that. And then, like if it was Pete and Andre back in the day with Nike, like Pete wasn't going to wear something that was like the color of a parking cone. Like it was very white, neutral, like it was very kind of classic looking, whereas Andre would wear crazy shit, right? So I think it's personality. The higher your rank, the more say you get in it. And that's kind of generally the way it is in all things tennis. The higher rank, you probably get a little bit more say in your orbit.
Anna had asked, what was the hardest city or tournament to travel to? And did that constant traveling take a toll on your performance?
Yeah, I mean, I remember, I always say I always use the lazy reference, like Dubai on a Friday, Memphis on a Friday and Dubai on a Monday. Like that really happened where you had to, lose one and then you play on a Tuesday. I remember flying from Charleston, South Carolina, where there's not like direct flights anywhere, finishing a semifinal of Davis Cup on Sunday, flying to LA that night, staying overnight in LA on Sunday, arriving in Bangkok early Monday morning and having to play, or maybe early Monday or Tuesday morning, whatever day, I landed and then had to play the next night. And I remember getting like smelling salts on the switchover because it's like you're just kind of out of it. So I don't know that it's one city that's wildly inconvenient. If it wasn't like a major or master series, you might just not go.
Yeah.
But the unforeseen Davis Cup tie here where it's random, and then the commitment that you made in January to take a paycheck and go to Bangkok, all of a sudden those things collide and fucky Magoo, right? So like there are times and trips that have been impossible. Yeah. I don't know that there's like one city that's like consistently more of a pain in the ass than the others outside of, and it all depends where you're traveling from. Like a hidden city, a small city in Europe, if you're based in London, you're probably going to be able to get there on one flight. Like in the States, you're going to have to get on another flight and connect and the whole thing. So purely depends on the starting point.
We took your 2024 season and it broke it down on Tennis Abstract and it showed basically your
2024.
Your 2004 season.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, your 2024 season. It was a very, very short season.
Yeah, Cancun once.
Tuscany, lovely. Oh
wow,
man,
he does it. He does it right.
2004, you played. I think that was the Olympic year. So you had 92 matches that year, including Davis Cup, including the Olympics.
Yeah.
At one point,
singles matches.
Yeah, singles matches,
not including doubles matches.
You had flown from Cincinnati to Athens and then back for the U.S. Open.
Yep.
So that was like 5,000 miles. But we had it added in. We assumed that you were leaving from Austin at the beginning of the year, and we had to map out your entire year, assuming some of the breaks you would go back to Austin.
I could probably
maybe not. It was 81,000 miles. It was 3.5 times around the globe.
Yeah.
If we were to assume the travel based on what the model says.
Those were heavy years. Like 03, 04, I won 70 something matches each year.
Yeah.
Like that was a lot. I didn't have a lot of no in my game at that point. I think that year was my Barcelona.
That was your Barcelona?
Yeah, that was like I need to something has to give a little bit. But it's funny because I mentioned the Charleston to Bangkok of things, and what I just didn't even register was the U.S. Hardcourt Summer, losing a Wimbledon final, playing a week later in Indy, going to Toronto, then to Athens for the Olympics, back to Cincy, or
No,
was it Cincy?
it was Canada, Cincy, and then
Athens, and then back to New York.
Then back to New York.
And then New York to Charleston, Charleston to LA to Bangkok, and then home.
And then Houston for the Masters Cup, yep, and then the final Davis Cup in Seville.
Yeah, so the year didn't fit. That was a rough one.
I mean, you were literally playing from Jan 3rd to December.
I'll tell you, my travel itinerary as a podcast and YouTube guy is a little easier.
It's a little bit, just quick little Johnson.
Just relax. It's like,
Johnston.
It's like, oh, you're traveling? It's like, it sounds like I put this computer package together, and it's so easy that even you can put it together.
Did you remember your light?
That's a joke, and it's actually true. It's actually 1,000% accurate.
Sean, we'll find a way to put a link to the spreadsheet that we had AI build, and it's absolutely absurd. The schedule that you had.
And you know what you don't have on that? Exhibitions.
Oh, wow. You could fit exhibitions in there? There's literally I think it's something like 12 total weeks of break that you had in that schedule.
No, it wasn't that much. And that doesn't take into account traveling for sponsor opportunities. And I remember going from the finals of Wimbledon to LA because it was like the ESPYs. Yeah. And then it was, that's before we get to anything off court.
So, I mean, I guess Sarah had a good question, and I think this kind of fits into that, right? Let's think about the 2004 travel schedule and few breaks and all of that. She asked, how do pro players choose hitting partners in practice and during tournaments? And I even think, are you traveling a hitting partner with you at that level? Or?
I mean, at tournaments, you can find people because that's like the epicenter of tennis talent.
So then how are you choosing then, I guess, at that point?
Less to do with travel, more to do with I would schedule home weeks.
Yeah.
And I would bring people in to practice. Right. And it could be someone who just wanted the experience of training with someone who was a top player for the week. It could be, if you're on clay, you want someone who makes 1 million balls, I probably wouldn't have practiced with Isner. He probably wouldn't have wanted to practice with me, right? Because that's not much of a training block for either one of us if we're both just serving nonstop. I used to practice with Mike Russell a ton, Taylor Fritz's coach. He lived in Houston, so he would come down for 3 or 4 day blocks where we're just making 1 million balls. I always would bring in young players. I remember the young players who have stayed at my house, like Sangren, Harrison, Donald Young, Sam Querrey, they would all just come and stay at my house for a week, and we would do our work. I'm sure I'm forgetting 1 million of them. I would use the college players. If University of Texas had some decent players who got to 250, 300, so I would go there. If I just needed 2-on-1 work, sets was a little bit different. So I always just gravitated towards the guys that would make 1 million balls and never get tired.
Yeah,
that's what I needed.
That's cool. One sidebar. Querrey told a story on Tennis Channel this week. I think it was this week, right? It was about when you bet him $1,000 that if he won a match, he had to do
the bull dance against Rafa, and he didn't do it. That's the to Sam's credit. Yeah. So the thing was basically Sam and I had been training almost an entire off season. He was in Hawaii on the way down to Australia. We'd put in 10 days, and Sam at that point was like, I don't know if I can. I'm like, you're good enough to turn pro, dude. You're better than you think you are. At that point, he was like, oh, Southern Cal, and I like the tournaments, and I'm like, you're going to end up going pro, really good. But so fast forward, he gets a wild card, or maybe he got in. I don't know. He had to pay Rafa first round to Cincinnati, and Sam is hilarious. I remember him, his Davis Cup practice partner. So we used to make the practice partners do funny stuff, just as being part of the team. And as we're coming back from the formal dinner, we had a karaoke machine set up in the lobby. And so you're seeing all these dignitaries from the USTA. And so he had to be doing karaoke while everyone was coming back from the formal dinner in the lobby of the hotel. And Sam is really hard with those things because 1 is great value. 2, he's not capable of being embarrassed by something like that. If there's no consequence involved, like karaokeing, full on. It's to the point where he does so well that he's not even uncomfortable, so it takes some of your joy away with the heckling. But his line was basically, I think, disrespecting Rafa. It's he'll do anything to embarrass himself, but there's no so he wins the first set against Rafa 7-6. And I remember being in the locker room and I'd be like, dude, let's see, Sam, I got $1,000 for if Sam does the bull dance. If he does the bull dance, he won the set and didn't do it. And that's probably the right move. That was probably the right call.
Oh, man. So we'll close up with a couple more questions, but we were all kind of wondering, what was your craziest travel day? Like what is the craziest travel? Not just distance, anything that was just like it felt like something after another just kept happening.
I remember so without delays, I forget where I was flying to. This is dark. This is darker than where you were probably going, where you just wanted me to lose my luggage, which happened in Brisbane in 2010, and I was wearing schmedium for like 3 days. Flying my first international flight after 9/11. There were 3 people on the airplane.
Wow.
So you're flying overseas and you have this entire thing, and there was nobody to be seen. And it was the craziest thing I think I've ever seen. Like that was probably the craziest travel day in like a very sad, eerie kind of retrospective sort of way. Like I remember getting on the flight, and if you've ever been on an international flight, it's normally full.
Yeah.
Like it's chaos, and it's families traveling, and it's just, everyone's getting ready for, it was like empty. There may have been more flight attendants than passengers. That felt crazy to me.
What's your craziest like customs experience?
When I went to Brazil recently, and it was the first time that I went to the desk and presented what I thought was a customs thing, and they told me to get out of here.
What?
And so I had to. It's the first time I've ever been rejected at the airport, where I got full Matumbo.
Here in Charlotte.
Yeah.
They're like, no, sorry.
Yes.
You may not pass go.
Yeah. I've lost my passport. I've had to 2003, I made my first Wimbledon semi. I lost my passport. Had to wait the entire weekend because they weren't open, and then go on a Monday. So
before you went to the tournament?
I lost at some point on that trip, but it's fine as long as you're in the country.
Yeah, you're in the country.
But I didn't have time because I won Queens and I was in the semis of Wimbledon. I wasn't going to go on an off day and spend 7 hours waiting. Yeah. And so that wasn't great. Found my passport at the bottom of an elevator shaft in Russia one time. Okay. It fell out of, I had it inside of a book, and I went from breakfast to team room. We were there for Davis Cup, and it fell, but it fell right through the crease of the elevator shaft. So we were looking for it for a day. I'm going, this is not great. Yeah. This is not where I want to be dealing. No, this is not the one for me. Anyway, so we found it at the bottom. You know how good it is to think that you've lost your passport in Russia? Yeah. And to take a pie in the sky, I'm retracing my steps. I'm the only possible place it could have completely disappeared without it being taken.
You didn't see it fall. You just assumed.
No, I was there's no, if you drop a passport next, you feel it, you hear it. I'm where could it slit in the elevator? Security, they let us down on the bottom. And I remember our director of security walking up, and he had my passport. I go, oh my gosh, I would literally do terrible things for that. And he's he goes, bottom of the elevator shaft. So that wasn't great. That could have been much worse.
So moral of the story is, this summer when we all go to Wimbledon, don't give you the passports.
I'm on a 2-decade good streak, but there's no reason why you should ever give me your and now it doesn't leave. I have it in a certain compartment. And I have so much scar tissue from almost losing my passport and then misplacing it, and it literally, I go through, get it checked, I pull over after security every single time. I don't put it in my pocket. I put it in and zip it up, and it doesn't leave until the next time I need it.
Mine has an AirTag on it.
Yeah, that's smart.
It's a good way to do it.
That's smart.
That said, Sean, play the music.
Time for the random question of the day.
You love it. Stop. We fried his brain. Tyler wrote to us and said, whenever I burned through shoes as a kid, I went with some Andy Roddick Reeboks. My favorite pair were FIGJAMs. I heard that FIGJAM stood for, quote, fuck, I'm good, just ask me. Is that true?
Correct. We all have regrets.
Wait, so that is true?
Yeah.
Wow. So explain the process of naming these shoes.
It was Reebok. It was. Listen, it wasn't an original idea, and also I didn't say no. Yeah. It's on me. It's my fault. It's regrettable. I also wore a visor. I had spiky hair. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. I once ripped my shirt after I won a match. Think of a douchier thing to do. Think of a I saw an 18-year-old doing that now, beating a 32-year-old former Grand Slam champion. I'd be like, that kid's a shithead.
Yeah.
Listen, we've all made mistakes, but yes, that's true, unfortunately.
Do you remember when we found the cologne and then we went down and there was like a random board about it, and tenniswarehouse.com has like old boards from like 2006 still. And somebody asked this question and and there were many theories about it, but one person wrote, "Gee, I thought FIGJAM was constipation resulting from consumption of too many figs."
That would have been a better defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be something that I could probably wrap my head around now.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Didn't really eat them.
It's
the first one. I'll take all criticisms. What are we doing next?
Can I tell you how much they're going for currently on eBay?
If it's over $4.
$1,900.
What?
Yeah, $1,899. You can get them right now on eBay. Size 9.5. Though.
My mom, guys, we just hit the mother load. My mom has like 1 million signed versions of those.
Let's go.
Oh. Vacation fun,
Oh,
sir.
you know what? Maybe let's make one of them the prize for the bracket challenge for the French Open.
We could do that. Let's see what we could get for him first.
That's it. That's all we got.
All right. Thanks for watching Q&Andy. Thanks for wasting your time with us. We'll see you next week.